I want to string together a thought about job security and creative services that I've had over the last several days. So I had a really bad week last week. At the same time, it was one of my most productive weeks with AI. As I'm going through and I'm doing a lot of deep work with my AI assistant, and we're getting into a lot of very deep things related to the business of Brand Shepherd and ShepX. And yet at the same time, personally speaking, I had a really rough week relationally and things like that. And the feedback I got as I kind of like would go out of my self-imposed cave and I would interact with people and rub people the wrong way and just normal human stuff was on one camp I had people respond to me with encouragement and just be like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry that you're having a rough week, and if there's anything I can do for you, maybe I can pray for you, maybe I can just be an ear for you to listen to. I'm here for you." Then I had another camp that came at me and said, "You're being a jerk. You're being an a-hole. Uh, you're not really someone who I think I want to trust anymore," and a lot of negativity. And just like that, I had a thought that when it comes to job security and when it comes to I think that we have to factor in the human experience or the X factor of disposition. And by that, I mean, if you are typically an arrogant person, if you're rather surly in the job environment, if you're just difficult to work with, right? Let's just put it that way. If you're just difficult, if you're a difficult person to work with, it's almost like you're inviting yourself to be replaced by AI. Think about that. If the feedback you've heard from people through the years is that you're a rather difficult person to work with, you have different attributes about yourself that people find hard to work with and things like that, now's the time to do some soul searching and figure out how you can be easier to work with, how you can be more agreeable, how you can make your disposition more productive. Because I worked with people through the years. I've had some different encounters with different folks who would jump at the opportunity to replace staff or coworkers and stuff like that with an AI agent. They would, absolutely. In other words, what I'm trying to say here is eventually I think AI can take away jobs just like other technologies take away jobs. I lived through a period of time where paste up designers didn't become a thing and manually airbrushing illustrations didn't become a thing. Um, so I think technology has its place and it's going to take over certain jobs, but at the same time, AI presents a new dimension of interpersonality and just get it done type of modality that if you're a difficult person to work with and you're a creative and you're one of those arrogant snob types of creatives who kind of know everything and you want the world to know, you will be replaced, and it has nothing to do with your skill. It just has to do with your attitude and your disposition. So keep that in mind. Right now is the time to start thinking of how to be easier to work with, how to be more agreeable. Maybe feeding your responses to certain emails and texts through ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini first to make it sound more agreeable might be a first step you could take.